This group of Israelites called themselves
Israeli Church of Universal Practical Knowledge? Yeah. Thanks. This is a little scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a powerful painting.
It's a powerful painting.
Yeah, that Christ is coming back on the white horse. And he's coming back. And he's going to take down the white man, the Edomites. That's why your Pope is down in the ground.
Lord, right here in the ISUPK under Commandant General Yohana, man. This is the Lord's work right here, man. This is the Lord's work right here. And this is a good white woman, man. She's showing her deeds, man, to the Lord, man. And the Most High may show favor to her, man.
Back. Go on YouTube, right? And y'all can look it up for yourself. Check this out.
Probably gonna do that.
I'm gonna give y'all something. Check this out. Go on YouTube and look up Donald Trump kisses drag. You're gonna see your president kiss Rudy Giuliani dressed in a drag on the lips. Yo.
You know, you're really beautiful. And a woman that looks like that has to have her own special scent.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you could tell me what you think of this scent.
I like that.
This may be the best of all. Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
If what you just saw didn't look even remotely familiar, then go ahead, sit back, strap in, and get ready, because what you're about to learn about today is the Black Israelites. Now, the Black Israelites are actually a pretty delicate subject, because a lot of the clips that I've seen online that have been popular in the past and things that I've seen are pretty funny. They're a pretty funny group. They go out there and they troll, and that last clip was them being at Washington, D.C., and purposely showing up to a Trump rally in order to enrage and basically piss off a bunch of Trump supporters by saying Donald Trump kissed a man. And they do this a lot. They try to find popular events in certain areas that have a lot of foot traffic in cities, or events in general where there's going to be a large group of people, and they go there for the express reason of pissing people off to spread their message. And I think what's very hard to understand about the Black Israelites group is that they are fairly funny in some regard, but they are sometimes very unhinged and unironically a extremely bigoted and very, very prejudiced group. And it's a bit hard to understand. The reason being is that they have different factions around different areas of the United States of America. Some of them just come off as, you know, a bit of tomfoolery and trolling, whereas some legitimately have strong ideological ties to hate and terrible behavior, and they go pretty far when it comes to making people upset. There was a video that happened not too long ago where there was a city where they purposely went to an area where they knew Muslim people would be. They took a Quran and then started to rip it up and throw it around, just like most other individuals who try to get these Muslims' attention by destroying something they see as sacred or something as holy. And the weird thing about their message is that they always do this as like an attention grabber. They do this to get your attention and have them pay attention to them. And then they tell you that your book, the Torah, the Quran, the Bible even, is all incorrect. And they start to spread their actual information and their actual beliefs, which is that they, the Black Israelites, are the true Israelites. They are the real Jewish peoples, and that they go on to say that the Jewish people that exist today are essentially pretending to be Jewish. They even go as far as to say that events that occurred in the past didn't happen, as them basically trolling very harshly some New York Jew by saying the Holocaust never happened and getting them to cry, which they love. They're literally the original trolls.
That's right. They run the banks of America. That's right. Can I talk? They in league with America. They got armies and jets. They fight when they get hurt, man. They not mourning, but the real Jews are in mourning. Can I talk? You ain't in mourning. What the hell you doing? 6 million who the Holocaust.
Are you saying the Holocaust is a joke?
It's a joke. That's right. That's right. Yeah, crowd, white boy.
So If the internet was around a little bit earlier, these guys would have been a lot more advanced and a lot more popular because they literally exist to troll. They say something that tries to get on your nerves, tries to get under your skin, and the moment you take the bait, it's like they just suck their energy out of your body like Perfect Cell, and they are now amazed. They are absolutely benevolent and thankful that you got upset. And I think their ideology is explained a little bit more deeply as well when it comes to a documentary that Louis Theroux did years ago, where they have a deep belief that they are the true Jewish people. And not only are they the true Jewish people, they are the true power brokers of society, but a lot of it is being tampered with. A lot of it is being whitewashed, such as King Arthur and other royal figures being actually black, even though everyone thinks they're white. I just want to show you something that's in this book right here. It's very interesting, is that a lot of the original rulers of England and Europe were actually black men, which sounds crazy to you, but it's just a fact. Is it alright if I come up and take a quick look? I'd like to get a peek in it. Let me see. Come up here. Sure. We're not going to attack you. We're just trying to tell you the truth. Come here. Look at this. Look at this right here. This is a black man. Whether you like it or not, he's a black court officer. A black man. These are black men. This is taken from Windsor, Oxford, all these different universities in England, and you cannot deny this. Can I give you a list of historical figures and you tell me whether they were black or white? Shoot. Give you some names. Okay, what about Beethoven? Black. Mozart. Black. Cleopatra. She looked black, but she was actually white. William Shakespeare. Undoubtedly black. Undoubtedly black. Abraham Lincoln. That's still up for debate. What do you mean? You don't know if he's black? We're not sure if Abraham Lincoln is black or white. It's still up for debate. It's possible. I wish I was black in it. Listen, trace your family lineage. If it ends up being that you had a black ancestor, you could come and live with us and be with us, or we're gonna end up seeing you in captivity with the rest of the slaves. So, other than the fact that Abraham Lincoln may or may not be black, that clip kind of tells you the importance they view of race, saying that you must be black, whatever degree or whatever percent, because in the New Age society of the Black Israelite society, you are only allowed in their congregation and allowed a position of power because you are someone who is black. And they view things such as slavery and the transatlantic slave trade as something that is an irreplaceable and irrevocable evil, as most people would, but they also see it as a trigger event for them to get revenge on the Edomites, aka white people and non-black people, which basically pushes them in a different lens as not only hating slavery, but wanting to get revenge for slavery and basically becoming individuals that will become the new oppressors and the rightful chosen people. And I think that's something that's very important, because a lot of the times when you hear people talk about this Black Israelite ideology, it sometimes gets mixed into kind of Black nationalism or even Pan-Africanism. Even that documentary piece came from Louis Theroux's Black nationalism video, where he went and talked to some people such as Christians, such as Reverend Al Sharpton. He talked to some Nation of Islam Muslims like Khalid Muhammad. And then he stopped to talk to Black Israelites because they're a minority, and honestly, at this point in time, not even really a faction of Black political thought, but they are an entity which exists that has a large Black caucus. So I guess by that de facto, you could say they're somewhat a part of Black political thought, but a lot of their ideologies are not really rooted in any real strong roots of Black political thought. You've never heard W.E.B. Du Bois say that white people will become the new slaves and Black people will take over. I never heard Booker T. Washington say that George Washington was really Black on the low and that that's the reason why he was such a great person. It's kind of a weird ideology that's very similar to the whole Nation of Islam or the weird Yaqub ideology that exists in some factions of minority thought when it comes to these groups. And I think it's very odd, it's very weird, but I think the thing that I find most interesting about them is that they're a group that is completely hateful and their ideologies are terrible, but there are certain individuals from this group that are undoubtedly hilarious. Like that dude who said Abraham Lincoln might be Black. He was dead serious, but at the same time, not only was he just trolling and saying all that, he had sharp talent fangs, as if to say that if you disagree with me, I will cut you up like Tobias Beecher from Oz. And that he also sat there on a king's throne next to other two Black Israelite individuals that were sergeants, generals, whatever the hell ranking they were, where they looked like they were extras in a Power Rangers movie. Like, they look hilarious, right? And I'm not gonna lie, some of these black Israelites are pretty funny, and they kind of are somewhat charming in their trolling tactics that you almost forget they're terrible people. It's like if the KKK had a sense of humor. Like, I remember one old video that I cannot find now that legitimately made me laugh off my chair while I was rolling on the floor, actually, was that a group of black Israelites purposely went to the West Coast in LA or Seattle after Elliot Rodger had done his heinous act of basically going to a college and enacting revenge and hurting people because he was the true chosen anchor incel. And they went to a protest that was against this action, which was something that was also popular on Twitter, which was called Yes All Women. It was basically a march for women to come out and say that hate against women is not right, this is wrong, this is terrible. They had some good messages there, as well as some kind of like over the dramatic and weird moments where they just took tweets to complain and say different things. But it was a mostly positive message. But the black Israelites, being the opportunists that they are, they realize that a large group of women will be there will be a protest happening, and that they can go there, record videos, and be misogynistic and get under people's skin. Now again, the thing about the black Israelites is that they are legitimate trolls. And the thing about them is that they caught one. They got one white woman who came up and basically took the bait, hook, line, and sinker, basically started talking to them about feminist ideology, talking about how it's wrong to hurt women, talking about why this march is so important. And she did not realize that these black Israelites literally exist just to troll. So what they started to do was make misogynistic comments saying that, you know what, women don't deserve rights. In the Bible, it says you're not supposed to have rights. And she literally lost her mind, so much so that when the police officer came over to break up the discussion, the woman did not want to listen to the police officer, said, how can you allow them to be like this? And the police officer, just trying to end the situation, basically took her away on handcuffs. The next 2 minutes of the black Israelites laughing and pointing at her as she got carted away was absolutely hilarious. And I think that's the thing that's dangerous about them, is that they can do this. They can show up and be funny, but at the same time, they're preaching a message of absolute hate and disgust, which you almost forget about because they're on the corner literally trolling people for no reason. Even those people in the beginning of the video that went to a Trump rally just to say that Donald Trump kissed a man, like, do you understand? Like, you basically bought tickets to fly out of state just to show up somewhere and troll people in person. Do you understand the type of high that must be? Like, you're there with a bunch of haters, like you're basically part of the hateocracy, standing around just making fun of someone. It's intoxicating, it's insanity, it's something that is so powerful that I want to be a black Israelite on the low, but then I realize they're actually a legitimate group that don't just go out and bother people, they're actually black supremacists who go out and bother people for the express reason of spreading their message of hate and misandry and other negative ideologies. Now, the thing about this that is extremely alarming is that it doesn't really seem like there's an answer to this, because in all reality, if you're a white person and go up to them and try to stop them, you're basically flexing your white privilege. That's not right. You're supposed to bow down and kiss their feet. If you're someone who's not white and go up to them, they're basically going to tell you, just join us, you know, be in our brotherhood. There's no reason to fight us when you could be us. That's also very interesting. So in order to combat the black Israelites, you would have to find someone who is so sound of mind, so intelligent and so cunning that he can go against their arguments verse by verse, chapter by chapter, text by text. And I don't know if that person even exists.
Say hello to my little friend.
Now I'm gonna show you how you prove something, okay? When I go to my book, Codex Game Over by Shaka Amos, in here you have the original coffin text. I mean, you got the original pyramid text. Now, I'm not just gonna cite something from your Bible and say it's in there. I'm gonna give you the source, the verse and the chapter, so you could go see it. Because if I don't do that, I could just be making that shit up. Just like you could be making that shit up. Why? Because you didn't give nobody in your camp Forget me. Forget anybody watching. You didn't give nobody in your camp a verse or a chapter. Right now, I want you to hold that paper up and show the camera the verse and the chapter, and the verse and the chapter that comes from. Do it right now. Do 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 do. Okay, yeah, it ain't there. All right, so hold up. No, I'm almost done. I got about 5 more minutes. I counted. Here we go. Here we go. Because you just got done, bro. You got roasted. You smoke coming off of you, dude. You got shot down. All right, here we go.
Thank God Shaka Amos is alive and well, and he is strong enough mentally and physically to put these black Israelites in their place. So the next time you think about the fact that black Israelites exist and that they are basically a scourge on society and they could take over the world if they really wanted to, the one person who's stopping it, the silent hero, the man with the amazing comedic knowledge and the pharaoh ponytail, Shaka Amos, is the only reason why you right now, if you're white, are not in the slave trade. And if you're black, why you have not joined the black Israelites is because of people like Shaka Amos. He is an intelligent, grateful black political theorist. And I'm just so thankful that he exists. He's able to combat these black Israelites. And hopefully this will continue to occur and he will continue to win and continue to be victorious. And hopefully the black Israelites won't be able to take over the world, because honestly, I don't know if I have enough black in me to survive the Edomite apocalypse.
At the end of every single video, make sure you ask people to rate and subscribe to your content. It makes them feel like they're involved even though they're really not. And most importantly, make sure they comment on every single video. If you have to, disguise it. You know, call it something like the question of the day. And really make them think you're gonna really read it when you really don't have to. Ha ha ha!